My name is Donlin&Pelfrey.
And I'm Andy Donlin.
Our project is about water mitigation and wastewater disposal.
Looking at our precedent study, House and Frogs Hollow, we focus on three discourses, which are nature, sustainability, and health. How does nature and site influence the creation of a boundary? We define boundary as a line that marks the limit of an area or a dividing line. As seen in nature, a dividing line can be a body of water, a force that is difficult to cross, like an ocean, a lake, a pond, or a river. This division of land not only creates a boundary, but also defines area of nature. The separation of area has its benefits. Looking at division in a rural setting, how humans use boundaries to define areas of land, also used for convenience of watering and harvesting.
For our precedent project, the client's wishes becomes important to the context of this particular project. The network of connectivity, in this case transportation modes, influences the integration of the building to the site. For site, we question how does the context of a site help further our understanding of environmental sensitivity through an architectural lens. Our approach to context follows Herbert Mechamp's perspective in contested contexts, as it pertains to contemporary consumer culture. There seems to be little understanding and initiative towards handling the byproduct of everyday human existence. Areas of high priority include some more densely populated spaces in urban communities, typically located near a large water source. These sensitive environments are essential to our existence and affect not only those living nearby, but the entire network of waterways.
How can designers manipulate boundaries to provide a sustainable approach to building enclosure? How do humans use boundaries? In suburban areas, we see boundary as property, parcels, lot. These areas are divided by program and function, circulation and travel. In this way, we are able to organize and regulate masses of people. However, a boundary is not always seen as a good thing. Densities of divided areas can contribute to high levels of pollution in urban areas. The introduction of nature and sustainable solutions become paramount in these cases. Central Park is an example of sustainable urban design method. With the demand of cleaner air quality, urban planners decided to take out a massive chunk of infrastructure and replace it with a park, creating a green lung that provides residents better air quality and recreational use in New York City. Our aim for this project looks past an individual scale and towards a network of infrastructure used for wastewater disposal. With the increase of households in an area, the amount of wastewater follows and can be quite substantial on a larger scale. Sustainable wastewater solution should not be seen on a single or individual scale, but should be understood through the lens of a larger network, a multitude of contributing households.
Our third discourse, health, we question how does sustainable methods in construction benefit waste and energy reduction? With sustainability in mind, natural materials and pigments are used throughout the small square footage building to maintain a further reduction cost and keep future energy consumption to a minimum. Looking at the program of the precedent, we question what other sustainable methods can be introduced to the home that can affect the environment at a larger scale. Passive cooling is an individual scale method used in our particular project for House and Frogs Hollow. To further our questioning, we look in how do these methods relate to a larger context than just the individual building itself.
In this project, CNC technology allows the construction to be located on-site using a singular machine and production process, eliminating the amount of mass production time and energy used by large factories. This attention to production at a small scale does not only save money, but also helps reduce carbon footprint, leading to a more sustainable process.
Our thesis: using more sustainable methods of wastewater disposal can help reduce the amount of sewage overflow in waterways during periods of flooding. For nature, a thorough understanding of the natural environment will provide both opportunities and issues for the building environment and its wastewater products. Health: gray water disposal systems will provide an opportunity for sewer overflow relief and nutrient-rich resources for plants. A more biodiverse and healthier space, especially in the urban setting, can begin contributing to vital issues in dense communities. For sustainability, proposing sustainable methods in nature to mitigate waste will offer relief to current infrastructural issues at a massive scale.
The Manhattan Transcripts by Bernard Tschumi propose to transcribe an architectural interpretation of reality. The series of images, plans, and diagrams help to dissect a specific piece of information. The intent is to show a singular setting or item and to dissect, better understand the more specific item through the form of representation.
For our case study of wastewater disposal, we look into the suburban residential context. In this case, wastewater is underlined because of its impact to a larger network-based system. That by focusing on a sustainable solution, like on-site water disposal, the impact might be felt on a much larger scale. Particularly, we look into Bloomfield Hills. For our wastewater disposal of the urban residential context, we look into Lafayette Park in downtown Detroit. The density and the amount of wastewater contributed to a larger network system is much greater than the residential house. With the increasing amount of wastewater, the amount of green and open space to distribute wastewater on the site decreases. This makes it more difficult to find an easy solution to wastewater disposal and mitigation.
What is the scope of wastewater pollution? How can we view this on a larger scale? The Detroit Water and Sewage Department is a significant discharger of untreated combined sewage into the Great Lakes. In 2011, Detroit dumped 7 billion gallons of untreated sewage and stormwater into the Detroit and Bruce Rivers. On a larger network, the impact of wastewater disposal is felt throughout the world. The United States alone has more than 12,000 treatment facilities, many of which, like the DWSD, treat 1 to 900 million gallons per day. In terms of sustainable wastewater disposal methods, the focus on one residence seems minuscule, but the combined impact each residence has on a larger network of sustainable and healthy methods of disposal is massive. To help better understand wastewater disposal methods, on-site, dual system, and central water disposal are listed with pros and cons. On-site being the favored method due to its natural properties of filtering wastewater.
Again, looking at our context of site, we look into the suburban residential and urban residential, questioning how does the context of a site help further our understanding of environmental sensitivity through an architectural lens. By comparing suburban residential and urban residential, particularly Bloomfield Hills and Detroit, Michigan, we can identify dense residential complexes, like this apartment building in Detroit, has massive amounts of concentrated wastewater with typically little opportunity for on-site disposal methods. These areas can be categorized as target areas and paid special attention to when designing a sustainable disposal method.
How does density play a role in a large network-based system that contributes to sustainable wastewater disposal? If you're looking at density in areas that use central sewer system, which is the brownish green area in this map, and areas that use on-site wastewater disposal, which is the bright green in this map, we can determine target areas that need the most attention when finding ways to mitigate wastewater. What would more sustainable wastewater disposal look like in denser areas? We're predicting you would see healthier waterways and green infrastructure. Using more sustainable methods of wastewater disposal can help reduce the amount of sewage overflow in waterways during high periods of precipitation and flooding. Greywater disposal systems provide an opportunity for sewer overflow relief and nutrient-rich resources for plant species, creating a more biodiverse and healthier pocket.